Well, this is exciting and also emotional. This is my last and final birth story video that I'm ever gonna film. I still can't believe it went the way it went. I'm 4 weeks postpartum. I'm gonna share my birth story with you today. I have a tamale with me that I'm going to eat. These things are incredible. They're at the farmer's market next to our house every Saturday, and this is my third of the day. No shame. Before I dive in, if you're new, I totally would love to welcome you to this space. My name's Margaret. I'm a mother of 4 boys and happily married. My kindergarten crush, which sounds hilarious. And I just love peace. I've lived a very chaotic life and I know what that feels like. Uber stressed, uber angry, very unhappy person. That was me. And through stillness and living a slow life and through minimalism and through a lot of prayer and reliance on the Lord and trust in the Lord and obedience to the Lord, my life is completely different. So I share my journey, what I've learned, what works, and what I'm still doing today. So that's what this channel is. I welcome you to stay and subscribe and even join my email list where I share an even more authentic, real, and raw version of what's going on through my head these days, as well as things that would support you and encourage you on your journey. Okay, that was long-winded. Sorry, let me dive into this tamale. Let me give you a close-up. She's gorgeous. And this salsa, like this is the bread and butter, okay? Like I said, this is my 4th birth, and I have to give you the background because my experience with my other births is what has led me to this birth. And oh my goodness, does this look delicious. Hold on. Let me pause for a quick bite. So good. I gotta learn how to make those. Those are just... The background. This is my 4th birth. I think I've said that so many times. Sorry. I had 1 epidural. The rest of them were at the birthing center in St. Louis, Missouri, which I love. And my 3rd birth was probably, well, my 1st and 3rd were the hardest, but my 3rd birth was the most painful and the most intense for me. That scared me for this birth. That's an important background piece. The other important background piece is what I talked about 2 videos ago. When I said there's no drama, I am not welcoming a touch of drama into this birth, into my life, actually. Side note, that was something that I just realized was a pattern recently over the past year, and it really played an unfortunate role in my birth so far. So let's just leave that there. Okay, one more background thing I need to touch on is that a lot of people were asking me how I prepped for this natural birth. I only realized this in these weeks of reflection postpartum, but I didn't do much. I mean, I talked about that 2 videos ago, the things I'm not doing at 40 weeks pregnant. Like, I'm not buying things, I'm not overpacking a hospital bag. I don't know, you can go watch that video. But I didn't really prepare for this. This is a bold statement, and I'm working on just being authentic and being bold. But the way I live my life, the way I take self-responsibility seriously is how each of my births have panned out. The way I live my life is how I prepared the most for this birth. I'll just say that. I wasn't over controlling. I wasn't trying to write my own story. I wasn't being dramatic. I wasn't freaking out. I just was saying, Lord, let's do this. Like, this is normal. This is what you designed. This is part of our story of sin, and I'm willing to surrender. That's literally what I was doing, along with having deep connection with my children, with my husband, and being slow and being intentional with my life. Like, that's how I prepped, the way I live. I could go on and on and on and on, maybe in another video, but let me just get to the deets, okay? I set the background up. Sorry it took me so long. Let me finish this tamale. I mean, look at this, like, and the corn makes it almost sweet and subtle, and so the punch of the food on the inside is just enough for it to be like a wow factor, but also with the smooth tamale thing around it. I don't know. Again, I need to learn how to make this. If you have a recipe, send it my way. This is where it began, okay? I was having Braxton Hicks contractions on a Monday in the afternoon-ish. Didn't think much of it. My previous birth, I was 10 days overdue. The birth before that, I was 4 days overdue. So I was expecting to be overdue. I was just riding these Braxton Hicks waves like it was normal, okay? But in the middle of the night, I couldn't sleep because these contractions were getting a little bit more intense. And by intense, I mean I just felt them more. I wouldn't say these contractions hurt, but they made me like focus on them. Okay. I started timing them, and at 1 o'clock, I decided to call my mother and say, Mom, I'm going to make a phone call to the midwife, and tell her that my contractions are like 8 minutes pretty consistently as I'm lying down. She was so cute too. She literally picked up the phone within like one ring and said, "Is it go time?" And I was like, "Chill, mom, remember, no drama, no drama." I wouldn't say it's go time, but my mind and my body is telling me to say, "Mom, can you come here? Can you be here?" She was gonna stay here with the boys while we went to the birthing center if and when we needed to go, okay? My sweet husband, I don't tell him for a couple hours because I'm trying to fall back asleep. I'm trying to like, again, I'm not expecting to go into labor. I'm 2 days early of my actual due date. So that was confusing in my head. I also had trauma of literally thinking I was in labor 3 times when I wasn't in my last birth, okay? Then I roll over and I tell Tate, I'm like, "I'm really feeling these contractions. I'm gonna call the midwife." And that's when he got up and gave me the deer in the headlights look. He loves me so much and he does not like seeing me go through this. So his adrenaline just kind of spikes, but out of love. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. It's just kind of like who he is. It's his personality. He's so sweet. But I really do have to play it cool around him. Again, I say that out of love, like not a knock. So I call the midwife and she's like, "Why don't you get up and like pack your bag, pack the car," because I hadn't done that yet, "and see how the contractions go." And they kind of dwindled away. So at about 4 in the morning, I went back to sleep. I woke up at 1, called my mom, laid in bed till like 2. Then I told Tate, "I'm gonna call the midwife." And yeah, our adrenaline was just super high. We were packing. I was just kind of laying there and my contractions started to go down and I was getting really sad because I'm like, no, I don't want a repeat of last birth, okay? So that all happened in the middle of the night. I ended up falling back asleep from about 4 to 7 and my mom was there. Tate went to work. I told him to go to work because I'm like, my contractions, like they're gone. So go ahead. I also knew that if he was around, he'd kind of be antsy without having anything to do. So I was like, just go, I'll call you if anything happens. So he goes to work and I just kind of putz around the house. I clean, I hang out with Rory. My big boys were with my in-laws. I'm kind of distracting myself in a way because I'm sad that my contractions went away and I need to change spots in the house because this next part is starting to get good. This is the spot. Do I have a spot on my shirt? Wow, that's fresh yogurt. Oops. Okay, just ignore that. This is where I was standing when my mother, with so much wisdom, and I felt so seen, she came up to me and she said, "I think you need to go in your room and you just need to focus." And I was like, I think you're right. Am I not focusing? Realized I was kind of avoiding letting things happen. Tate wasn't here. I just didn't believe that I could go into labor early. I was just scared. I was kind of scared too because of my last birth. I just had this lingering fear. So I turned on Labor Without Fear by Girl Teach Me just to like put that in my head. This is normal. Be the buffalo. Walk into this. If you haven't heard of her Labor Without Fear course, it's what I tell everybody when they're like, "So how do you have good births?" I'm like, this, all right? She's the real deal. She's about to have her 6th kid naturally. What she says in that is so empowering and so uplifting, so encouraging. It just makes me feel like this is easy. I can do this. This is normal. I'm gonna leave that link down below. I encourage every woman going through a natural birth to listen to that. So actually, I go into my bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom. So I walk in here and I just start kind of cleaning, but I put on these Beats, which are like noise canceling headphones. I wanted to bring the prop because it was essential, okay? I feel like I just blocked everything out and I listened to Lana's birth course and then Bridget Tyler on YouTube where she does like these meditations of birth. And what I did is I turned off all the lights and my amber nightlight came on and I took a warm shower and I just like really relaxed. And when I felt a contraction or a Braxton Hicks, because they were happening like every 30 minutes and then 7 minutes later and then like 25 minutes, like very inconsistent. But when I had a contraction, what Bridget Tyler's meditations are, she just encourages you to envision you and the baby working together. And I literally pictured in my head the baby's body and head just moving down in my body. Like I even like was feeling my belly and not pushing, but like moving my hands down over my womb and just saying, "All right, Shep, we can do this. I would love to see you soon. Like I was saying those things out loud with my headphones. Well, I didn't have my headphones on in the shower, but shower, and like I got out of the shower and I just stayed in this, like, it was misty, it was foggy, it was warm, romantic lighting. Not romantic, but like, you know what I mean. I just stayed in here for probably 45 minutes and just was like moving my body. This was just like where I felt safe. I actually had people in my house. Oh, I forgot to tell you this part. Oh my gosh. I had people, construction workers, men, coming through my house all day for the last like 7 days, for the last 3 months, but really for the last 7 days we were trying to finish our basement. That was very like overwhelming, and so this is kind of like my safe haven where I would come. I didn't even clean it for you. Like this is just what it looked like. This is, I guess it's clean. It looks clean and tidy. I really want things on the wall to hold stuff instead of just putting it on the counter, because y'all know me and counter space. But yeah, the whole basement saga was like a huge factor that I really had to like not be dramatic about and push through. Not really push through, but just like greet it with gentleness and say like, okay, that's what we're doing. That's that. Can I take a quick second to like pause and show you some basement things? Because it's really exciting. Just take a brief intermission, okay? It's gonna get juicier, but I like, let me just finish up this part. I was just chill in here, right? And I was touching my womb, talking to my baby. I was really relaxed. Now I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger and show you the basement. Let's go. Okay, I don't know the state that this is in. Like we just finished it, so there's nothing in there except for the bedroom, which I'll show you. Ta-da! Here we are. So literally, people, like in the best way, I'm not complaining, hammering, sawing, jackhammering the last like 2 months leading up to the birth. And even like right when I got home from the hospital, still going on. That day, we got home, Tate painted all of this white. So that was absolutely a part of our story. This was the exciting part for us. Why do I still have these on? Literally always been a dream for Tate and I to have people to our home and have them stay in our home. That's like, we love having people over, and finishing this bedroom was absolutely essential to us. And it took us a long time to get here, so this was like a huge celebration. So enjoy this little intermission. Cute bed. Let me tell you about the mattress. We use Birch Living mattresses in our home. We chose Birch Living for a multitude of reasons. Let me give you a few that I really want you to remember. Like I want you to remember Birch Living when it comes to mattresses. So we spend a third of our life in bed. Why not make that an intentional time and invest in a very high quality mattress that's not off-gassing and adding unwanted chemicals and inhalants into your air? Birch Living doesn't do that. So their mattresses are all created with natural and organic materials, which you know me, I love. Let me just expose this to you. Let me show you the layers of this mattress. So this mattress is created with natural wool, organic latex, and organic cotton. So it's certified safe and fiberglass free, which is a big deal for me. And if you've studied mattresses or what can potentially be on a mattress, that's really important. So my family, as well as anybody who stays here, gets to sleep on beautiful, high quality mattresses because that matters. And then we have lovely days and everyone sleeps well and it's great. Welcome to the 7 a.m. cam. Still in my PJs. Oh, yep. But I wanted to jump on here really quickly and give you a real-time update of our experience with Birch Living's mattress topper. Their mattress is incredible. We've heard amazing things. We heard incredible things about their topper. So we put it on our bed last night. I laid down and I was like, it feels cloud-like. Do you experience that while you're sleeping? Our experience, absolutely. Like this is it. My husband is a total bed snob, and he woke up this morning, he's like, yeah, this is it, babe. We've had a lot of beds. We've lived in 17 different places. We know what it's like to live. Okay, I needed to put him down and get a new memory card, so that's where we're at. I did not grow up as somebody who understood what a good bed felt like nothing against my parents. I just thought every bed was comfy until I met my husband and lived in 17 different places with multiple different beds. We'd rent some, we were in someone else's house or in their basement, yada, yada, yada. And so now I know what a good bed feels like. I know what it feels like to wake up refreshed and not sore and I just know what it feels like when you sleep on a very high quality mattress. This is one of the best feeling mattresses I have ever slept on, and it's just a clean, safe mattress where you're getting the best quality sleep possible. That's my real life update. So thank you, Birch Living, for sponsoring this. Thank you for creating a product that I care about and that I can share about on my channel. You all can visit my link to use my exclusive Labor Day partner offer, which is 27% off with code BirchPartner27. That's such a great deal on such an intentional product. Thank you, Birch Living. It's such an honor to work with you. Okay, we're back to my Zen place. All right, little recap. We were here for 45 minutes, focusing, meditating, just being calm and being relaxed. I even sat backwards on the toilet, which I heard was really good positioning to help the baby move. But here's the thing, I wasn't really feeling anything shift, especially when I was in here. So I was just like, all right, well, we did what we could. I don't know why I was expecting to just like focus and then go into labor, or so I thought. This is where I was when I had a contraction, where I said, okay? My grandmother was right here, actually Tate's grandmother. I call her my grandmother. My grandmother was right here. I think my mom was over here, like sitting in this chair, and Tate was literally minutes away from home, about to walk through the door. I have a contraction. Grandma and mom were both like, are you having a contraction? Because I had to stop talking. That was the first one where I was like, something's different. Literally seconds after I walked out of my Zen room and did my meditation and really just focused on like envisioning my baby moving down. In comes Tate, all right? He sits here. Ignore the laundry. I'm 4 weeks postpartum, I'm just going slow, okay? He sits here and he looks at me, he's just like, you know, how you doing? And I, you know, just play it cool, because if I were to freak, I feel like the loved ones in this kitchen would kind of freak with me. So I just played it cool. Guys, no drama, no drama. I'm like, you know, I think I'm gonna go rest in bed. So yeah, so I just went to go rest in bed. I didn't really tell him what was happening. I'm like, I'm kind of still feeling contractions. They're inconsistent. That's just what I kept saying. So I laid in bed, and that's when the contractions became pretty consistent, about every 6 minutes, but a contraction that felt productive, if that makes sense. Like I literally was laying there. I had to focus on my breath. I had to relax and breathe through them. Tate jumped in the shower just to like be clean and shower off after his work in case we needed to go in. While he's in the shower, you guys, I always wanted to be an actress, so this is me acting. Okay, so I'm pregnant, envision this, okay? I'm here, I'm actually on my side, yes. Oh, can't forget this little thing. She was a gamer on the day I gave birth. It's the Summer Solace Tallow Soap with vetiver. It's an incredibly grounding essential oil, and I just kept like, this was right here. This was with me all day. Just stay grounded, Margaret, okay? At this point, I'm starting to think I might be in labor, but I don't know. So I give it some time. I have 3 contractions within like a 5-minute period, so maybe I was laying down for 15 minutes, okay? On that 3rd contraction, Tate's in the shower, I get my phone and I text him, I think it's time we need to head to the hospital. Send. I hear the ding within like 20 seconds. Opens the door, big eyes. Is it time to go? I say, yeah. Oh, the dedication I have to this video is, I don't know, but this is an important part of the story, so here we are. Tate's in the front seat. I'm laying down in the back like this. This car seat wasn't here, but this is how I was laying, just like horizontal in the back. I proceeded to send this picture to my sisters, not knowing what level I was at in labor, but I knew I was in labor. And I was back here with my headphones on, just listening to good music. Pretty sure I'm the One by Justin Bieber and DJ Khaled played a few times, and like it was a 45-minute drive, and I was having those pretty intense contractions every 5 minutes, and I'm getting really hot, so let me make this quick. I guess that's the end of the story. Like, that's the end of the drive. It was pretty chill. I was laughing, I was giving Tate thumbs up. The contractions were productive. I was feeling them, but I was like happy and very relaxed. All right, let's get out of this car like a lady. So graceful, so elegant. Here we are. Hi neighbors, I know I'm a weird neighbor, okay. I couldn't finish the story without holding him. Here we go, bub. So we get to the hospital. My favorite midwife is on call. She's the one that delivered my last 2 children. It's the only midwife that I've experienced birth and laboring with, and she only works 12 hours a month. And I had her, which was so gentle and kind of the Lord. So I felt really at peace. I was like, Jenny, hey! I was laughing, I was lighthearted to a point where I was like really nervous that I wasn't in labor. She was like, do you want me to check you cervically? And I was like, I mean, she's like, it would tell us like where you are. And like, we don't do that in our normal checkups, but at this point I was like, let's just see like how far dilated I am, because that would give me, she's like, yeah, it would give us a good indication. Let's just see, because you're definitely in labor. Let's just see. So she started laughing. She was like, do you want to guess? And I was like, well, I guess full, because the last time I came in, I was fully 10 centimeters. Flies, go away. So I guess 10, and she's like, you're 9 centimeters. So we started laughing. I got up, had another like productive contraction, and then I casually jumped. I get in, I have 3 contractions. On the 3rd contraction in the tub, my water breaks. I could tell I was getting close because I was getting a little too hot. That's like one of my signs. I get hot flashes. Tate's giving me water. I asked to get out of the bathtub. So I get out, and right before my water broke, I was like, Tate, this is such a funny thing. Like, I'm laughing. I wonder how long this is going to take. Then my water broke. And when my water breaks, I know it's go time. So I go into the shower. Well, actually go to the bathroom first. I go to the bathroom and we turn the shower on. I ask for Tate's help because my contractions are starting post water breaking. I need Tate's strength to hold me up because I just felt like I needed to be upright and I wanted to be in like a bowspring position. That's just what my body naturally felt like it wanted. So I was just trying to hold on to him as much as I could. Like, my body was just doing what it needed to do. Like, it was incredible. I was able to voice exactly what I wanted. Like, Tate, I need you to hold me up. I didn't need water. I didn't need anything else because literally within, I'm not kidding, I want to say 8 contractions, Shep was in my arms. It was remarkable. It was so fast. The last 3 contractions were very intense. I just remember kind of losing my breath at one point, like gasping for air, just because it was so fast. And like, I don't know, that's just what I remember. Like, like that's kind of what it sounded like. But I was so focused, like I could feel his head. I was like, he's right there. I'm not stopping. Thank goodness I had Lana's voice in the back of my head from Girl Teach Me, her Labor Without Fear course. Be the buffalo. Like, that's what I was saying. I'm like, just go into the storm, Margaret. Don't avoid this, because the braver you are going fully into the storm, the faster he's going to be here. Within 8 contractions, he was in my arms, and I was not exhausted. Like, I was laughing. It was bizarre. I was just like, what just happened? I got to the hospital at 3:39. He was born at 3:59. Like, that included cervical check, getting in the tub, going to the bathroom, being in the shower, all of that. 20 minutes, Shep was here. And when I was in the back of the car, like, hey sisters, I'm going to the hospital. Love ya. We'll see how it goes. Peace. Like, that's how it was. And he was in my arms, and I just kept saying over and over and over, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. You are so kind. You are so kind. Thank you. Because my last birth was way more intense and longer, and I just felt so undeserving to have a birth that went that fast and that was that good. And my baby was healthy and I was healthy, and we were in and out of there. Like, we were out of the birthing center very quickly, and we came home and we just started doing life. Tate went back to work in the basement. I laid in bed. And here I am 4 weeks postpartum, feeling very, very strong, resting a lot, just loving life, like loving the visual of seeing all of my children. Even though it feels chaotic, we're still transitioning into this lifestyle and getting my strength back and getting like my energy back and all of that. It just, I have nothing negative to say, because God is good and so kind. And I'm not just grateful because it was a good birth. I'm grateful for the hard that allowed me to see this good. I'm grateful for all the other experiences that I've had. to be able to have this experience. I'm grateful that we're in a home. For those of you who know, like, I've moved 17 times and we're here and we're staying, and I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude, and I feel like that's why I'm so strong right now, because that's all I'm letting myself see. And God is just so good through the ups and the downs. He's so good. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. All the people that reached out, messaged me, that celebrated when I announced he was here. I'm just shocked at people who care so deeply, and that are people that are so happy for me and for our family. You guys are so wonderful, and I mean that in the most genuine and real way possible. Even though we don't personally know each other, I genuinely am grateful for you and for the love you've shown us. So thank you. Thank you for welcoming Chef into the world, and I'll see you guys in my next video.